Hello, welcome back to Examining Fictional Heroes. My name is Wayne Browder. I am hoping to start a Father's Day series, meaning that what I hope to do is have a good example or series of examples from fictional works about fathers and sons. This year, I decided that I would take excerpts from the book Brionne by Louis L'Amour. This book is about a man who loses his wife to a bunch of renegades at the very end of the Civil War. They are also enemies of Brionne, and they had gone to his home to try to find him, and they found only her, and she died as a result of it. Their young son escaped, and Brionne found him later, and he decides to move west with him to try to start a new life away from what they had in the East. However, his enemies also fled west at the end of the Civil War. So they end up being out there too. At any rate, I have several excerpts from this book, and I hope that they will be helpful to young fathers. Perhaps there's some good, I know there are some good lessons here. So I hope I don't lose any of my bookmarks also. This is like my third take because I've got several bookmarks in here and they've managed to slip out every time so far. So perhaps the third time is a charm. We'll see. So I will start with this one. When I resigned my commission, it was because I wished to be with my son and because I need time to think, to read, and to watch my son grow up. See, being an officer in the Union Cavalry did not leave him much time with his son. So now he had a desire to change that, especially being the only parent left. Was he doing the right thing? Was change the only answer? Was it an answer at all? So early in the story, they're already having some trouble. And he's not sure it's these people, but he has a suspicion it is. Quietly, his lips close to Matt's ear, he explained his reasoning. The boy was young, but the world does not always wait for the young to learn. And to Brionne's way of thinking, no time was too soon. After they leave the railhead and start going south on horseback, they meet a small group of Utes. You told them you wanted me to be a great warrior, Matt said. Brionne looked at his son. I want you to be whatever it takes to make you happy, he said. And whatever you do, I want you to do it the best way you can, and then try to do it a little better still. I told him I was teaching you to be a warrior because it was something he would understand and because it would immediately appeal to him. I do want you to be warrior enough to fight, if necessary, for what you believe and for what is right. There was a change upon the land now, a sense of something different. There was a new silence, a strangeness. Brionne welcomed it, and he watched his son with curious eyes. At last, Matt said, "The air seems different. What is it?" "Pines. It's the smell of pines, Matt. But that is only part of it. It is the feeling of loneliness, the sense of quiet. We've moved away from people, Matt. This is the wilderness." Brionne listened. He had advised Matt about that. If you listen, you learn. If you learn to really see things and to really listen, half your troubles are over. Always watch your back trail, Matt, Brionne told him. Country looks a whole lot different when you are facing the other way. Landmarks, landmarks that show up very well when you're going east may not look at all the same when you're going west. His father was awake. "It's all right, Matt. It is only a storm. The mountains do not mind the storms. There have been many storms upon these rocks." Matt lay quiet, thinking of his father's words, wishing he could be like him, so sure and quiet. And he said as much. "No one can be sure, Matt, but a man learns to appear that way, and after a while, it is the same thing. Look at the hills, Matt. They are quiet. The storms sweep over them and are gone. And most of man's troubles pass the same way. That is one reason I brought you here, just to learn that. Whenever you feel that things are getting too much for you, go to the mountains or the desert. It smooths out the wrinkles in your mind." That is outstanding advice. All of it. The part about not acting afraid. If you look it up, Teddy Roosevelt said the same thing. You can find that among many of his quotes if you look it up. And also, go to the mountains or the desert. Find solitude. Gives you time to think, to really open your mind up. He knew he was taking his son into trouble, but the world in which they were living was one where there was bound to be trouble. Stand by. I'm getting there. One lives with trouble, Brionne said. There is no need to think about a time without it, for it is always here. A man grows strong by standing against the wind, and eternal peace would bring no happiness. Man needs strife of some kind, something to struggle against, although that struggle need not be with other men. And finally, the boy and I were headed south, actually. We wanted a wild place where we had to keep busy every moment to live. I wanted that for both of us. We needed it to recover mentally from what had happened. And then we needed the sky, the high mountains, the good air. So I hope, as always, that you guys got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed it. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate you checking in. I would appreciate any likes, comments, etc. Follows are great if you feel like it. In the meantime, I hope you have a good night, a happy Father's Day, and a good week.